Hello, I am Thomas, and you are watching You Just Got the Boot. Franklin, I did not want to see you here, bestie.
Yeah, me neither.
I did not. This is not an interview that I was looking forward to be honest. So, just to get us started, in 90 seconds or less, what happened in this game?
What happened is I am good at making connections. I make connections with lots of people. And up until this round, I think, my name was not said. And that was a disadvantage because then they were just like, oh, we haven't said this one? Let's just do that one. And so I think what landed me here was that I helped every single one of those people in here do something. I helped Aaron get the puzzle. Me and Emma have been looking out for each other. I flipped and helped Pity. We did the Alex C thing. Zappy and I have been rocking from the beginning. Bryce is the only one that I think has ammo to throw at me, so I'm a little disappointed in the loyalties.
Mm-hmm.
And it took me having to say, is it me? For him to be like, yes, we're sorry.
Right.
You're not.
Right. You are definitely building up a strong resume for the final three. Do you think, growing as such a prominent person, but very subtly, it was very masterful. Do you think that was, the other players were catching on to that and they were trying to snipe you out before the finals?
Yeah, I think, because I did pretty well in competitions, and then my tribe won a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I think me being a little bit more under the radar and being a little more personable and vocal seems like more of a threat than just Pity, who's just winning competitions.
Right.
So I think I thought it was going well for me, but then I think it ended up being a detriment.
Right, but you still had a very clear and you can trace back your influence on nearly probably 80% of the decisions in this game, and with the remainder of the contestants, you clearly influence their decisions and were a very large part of their game too. So very commendable. What would you change about your game, if anything?
I think I probably just have made a few more connections with the original gold people sooner, because I didn't talk to Emily, Pity, or Bryce until we were basically at merger.
Right.
And so not having connections on the other side, I think was a detriment.
So do you think ultimately their connections were stronger than the ones that you had with them?
They must have been, because right now Zappy is the only person not from Gold that's sitting over there.
Right.
Except obviously Aaron was on our original, but they were all on the Gold. I went through all the trauma with having to go to tribal so many times, and I said it once and I'll say it again. I think that bonded them a lot more, and we took that for granted, just continuing winning.
Right. I agree. There is something to be said of building that resilience, and those people went into that merge trusting each other very strongly. So, and it's benefiting most of them, clearly. So I'm trying to relate to the contestants, get to know them, practice some empathy. So I'm a twin, right? Was there anyone in the game that you felt was your survivor bestie before the restie?
What's funny is I think it might have been Emma.
Okay.
Even though we were on opposite tribes, we just looked out for each other, and anytime someone tried to bring her up as a gameplay person and to get her out, I swatted them in another direction.
Mm-hmm.
So probably Emma, even though Zappy from my original tribe in the beginning, we were pretty close because we did most of the challenges that we won together.
Right. Do you think Emma and Zappy had your back similarly?
I know Zappy had my back for a good bit. I didn't like how at Tribal he was like, we have an alliance. That should never be said in the full public. Emma had my back until this last round, and she told me that Bryce was convincing her to vote me out. So
Right. I noticed that people weren't really picking up on you and Zappy's strong connection until he gave you that immunity. Do you think that was a smart move, or would you have rather just be up on the chopping block that week?
I think I probably would have rather been on the chopping block or him to at least take a second to deliver it because he was just like, I got it this one, and I was like, well, that's suspect.
However, we do need to remember that round was the most chaotic thing I've ever seen.
Yes, and I was the most stressed that I had been, and I was immune, so maybe now that I'm looking back at it, that was good
Right.
for me.
Right.
But I think we could have played it a little better, and I thought that we had enough going on for me to be able to throw back that we were not on the same side of a lot of votes that I used to help out the gold people,
Right.
like the stone vote to
Right.
help out Emily and Pity and all of them. He did not vote that way, and so I just kept bringing that up, which
Right.
is why we voted out Alex C, because he
Exactly.
was always voting with him.
Exactly. It's really all about optics, right? Like,
Mhm.
if he would have like came up with some sort of reason besides like I'm aligned with you, you know, like
Yeah.
then it could have been swayed a little differently. Let's see. Who do you think has a good chance of making it all the way to the end?
I think if Pity can keep winning comps until that's not a thing anymore, then that's a possibility. I think Emma has Bryce and Aaron and most likely Zappy in her corner, so I think she's got a really good shot as well.
Gotcha. As you are now a juror, what qualities are you looking for a winner?
Okay, I look for qualities of people who didn't necessarily need to be in the know all the time, but were observant enough of what was going on. And I like strategic gameplay, so I also think it's beneficial for someone if they're willing to flip on a not as close ally to help out some other people.
Right.
If they're willing to make a gameplay where they're gonna flip on someone to flip into the majority, that's something that catches my attention.
Gotcha. Nice. And then just to close out, one final question. What resonates with you the most? I have 5 phrases. You'll get the theme very quickly. You can say something else that fits the theme, but this is how you're feeling the moment.
Got it.
The boot scoot boogie. I got a snake in my boot. Slay the house down boots. Boots from Dora the Explorer. Or these boots were made for walking.
I'm gonna say I got a snake in my boot, but I'm gonna change it from 1 snake to 5 snakes because I helped all of those people out in different ways and they just kicked me to the curb.
Wow. So true.
Mm.
Well, Mikeland, you played excellently today. I have one last request for you.
Yes.
I have been asking each of the contestants to give their highest kick, okay? But you do have some dialogue to give to the camera, okay?
Got it.
I need you to say, I just got high kick the boot, okay?
Got it.
Okay? The stage is yours.
That's poor Hammy. I just got the boot.
Her. And there you have it. Good job, Mikeland.
Okay.